Hey guys, this is Anime Ball Z here, and today we are going to be doing the 5th part of What If Goku Had a System. Before I start this video, I just wanted to announce that I'm starting a web novel called The Warrior Mechanic. It's a great unique blend of sci-fi, action and lit RPG. I'll put a link to it in the description, and if you like my writing and my what ifs, I'm sure you'll like the writing in this web novel. I recommend checking it out, I don't think you'll regret it. I just want to thank you guys for all the support I've gotten on this what if, it's been amazing to see. I'm definitely going to be continuing this what if until the very end, and I'm probably going to include the superhero movie if there are any substantial changes. There's nothing much else I'd like to say in the intro, so without further ado, let's get into the video.
Slick talker since a jit. Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag, disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school.
Goku in this new state of his doesn't have much time. His champion ki is slowing the damage that is being done to his body, but the damage is acting faster than the healing process. He zooms straight toward Beerus and elbows him right in his jaw. This fast, powerful strike hurls him back, then he chases right after the retreating god in flight. Beerus slams into a mountainside, blocking the next punch aimed for him. This causes him to get launched right through the entire mountain. Goku zooms through the rubble, destroying the rocks that fall close to his aura. Once both fighters are revealed from the falling debris, Beerus shoots a heavily destructive ki blast toward Goku. It's about the size of a fist, so rather miniature, but can cause complete decimation. Goku combats this incoming blast with his Sadala slash. As his slash hits the ki blast, it cuts the blast right in two. The two remnants of the ki blast explode beside him, but Goku is not bothered about this. With blood dripping down his face from his nose and mouth, he only has one mission. Beerus catches him with a punch to the face, but the Saiyan grits his teeth and pushes against this strike that lands on his jaw. His blue eyes lock onto Beerus, then he throws a punch of his own that launches Beerus downward. He then continues with a relentless assault and is clearly given the upper hand. Even with Beerus being slimmer and quicker on his feet, there is nothing that he can do to combat Goku's monstrous strength. Goku drives his fist into his stomach, making the god fold over and cough out a mixture of spit and blood. He drops onto one arm but then engulfs in his special Fury aura once again. Shooting back up to his feet, he roars with rage and forces even Goku back. His eyes are now bloodshot. As he aims his hand forward, he begins growing a large destruction blast while laughing. "Let's see how you deal with this, Saiyan God," he shouts as waves of wind and ki blast out from his general location. Goku can see this and decides to begin using his hybrid ki blast, the hybrid ki deterioration skill. The various colours of ki swirl together and mix, forming a chaotic concentration of colliding energies. Just the growing of these two blasts causes the ground to crack and break under the force. The two warriors prepare to launch their blasts at each other, but Whis lands in between them. He isn't aimed for both fighters, but is instead principally aimed at Goku. This unstable collection of ki isn't something that Goku can suppress or break down. It just continues growing even more unstable, and he helplessly shoots it at the angel. With a wave of his staff, he shoots it into the sky where it releases a massive explosion. Even though it is launched well above the clouds, it detonates and breaks such clouds far apart. Beerus shrinks his blast until it vanishes and looks very disappointed. "Why did you stop me? I just started having fun," Beerus shouts. "The energy in that blast was too dangerous. I am just your supervisor, but I am also your protector, Beerus," Whis explains. What the angel says is indirect, but the god of destruction understands the underlying tone of that message. If that blast landed on him, he might have been heavily injured or possibly killed. Goku just collapses after taking such a heavy toll on his body. The others must rush to the scene and they attend to him right away. He remains unconscious for a long period of time and Goku returns to his mind. "I'm back here again," he realizes, looking at the Saiyan Kings in front of him. "You survived that, what a surprise," an old Saiyan King states. "What, so you guys were trying to kill me?" Goku asks, alarmed. "Well, it's what you asked for. The amount of ki you commanded was supposed to be a death sentence, but somehow you made it through," the Saiyan King replies, somewhat astonished. "Maybe we were wrong to judge you after all." Upon hearing this, Goku jolts up. He hears several sighs of relief upon waking up and is surrounded by everyone. Goten, Trunks, Raditz, Chi-Chi, Krillin, Master Roshi, almost everyone. Whis has healed him right away and he feels as good as new. "You're a valiant warrior, Saiyan, much stronger than you should be," Beerus says, somewhat jealous of his strength. With this, Goku has climbed above the gods of destruction after seeing his first one in the same day. What comes is a training period for the Saiyans. Raditz and Vegeta want to receive some training under the Angel and Goku does too. Yamoshi actually tags along since all of his friends that he had in his previous life are long gone. Therefore there's no need for him to stay on Earth with people that he doesn't really know. He also finds it great to see that there are so many good-willed Saiyans around protecting their loved ones with their lives. His system hasn't given him any specific quests to direct his training and so he decides to fall under Whis' wing. Hidden quest complete, Angel Apprentice. plus 3 ki control, plus 1 intelligence, plus 2 perception, plus 3 adaptability, plus 2 reflexes. User Kakarot brackets Goku. Titles: One Man Army, Royal's Bane. Ki control 12, intelligence 9, reflexes 11, durability 16, adaptability 8, perception 10. After making this leap in his training, he receives a significant improvement on his system. He can soon feel these increased attributes in battle. When fighting the likes of Vegeta and Raditz, he can see their attacks very easily and has learned their fighting styles with his greater intelligence. He also does this more quickly using his adaptability stat as well. Vegeta and Raditz are born to fight and they have pretty much done the same, however Goku did so much more quickly and to a higher degree. It's to the point where he almost knows their first attacks and has learned the best counters for such attacks to give him the upper hand when they spar initially. When training under Whis, the Angel can see that Goku has great potential for the use of Ultra Instinct. However, even though he has very precise ki control, he still fights ferociously and like a Saiyan would. Goku lacks the idea of fighting calmly and with clarity, but totally abandoning his Saiyan instincts feel alien to him. After being taught by Yamoshi about how to use his Saiyan abilities to his advantage, it almost feels like the wrong thing to do. For Vegeta and Raditz, they possess the same sentiment, and to an even greater degree for that matter. Soon Frieza is revived and returns to Earth to get revenge on Goku for viciously killing him in the past. He returns with his army, and those that remain on Earth to act as resistance aren't actually that strong. Gohan is much weaker and can't even properly go Super Saiyan. He never had any time in the hyperbolic time chamber, while there is no one like Piccolo to face these warriors. All they have are the humans that are much weaker too. Tien is around the same level as he was in canon, because I believe that he would still train to a similar level. So he is like the main fighter for humanity that aids in the battle against Frieza's massive army. Frieza soon faces the likes of these fighters and makes easy work of those like Goten, Gohan and Trunks. He goes on to try and take down the humans, but Vegeta lands in front of him. Kakarot got to take you down last time, so now it's my turn to do the same, Vegeta says from out of the blue. Yamoshi is in the skies watching this with his arms crossed. So this is the evil man that you two spoke of, Frieza, right? He asks. The Ancient Saiyan doesn't like the sound of this man at all. He was aghast upon hearing that planet Vegeta was destroyed by the likes of him. He was happy to see that the Saiyan race had survived past their tumultuous inner conflicts and quarrels, but to hear that so little of them remain hurts him. He would love to see this Emperor receive proper retribution, and he can tell that Vegeta is hoping for the same outcome too. You will do nothing to me in this state, transform like the others say you can, Vegeta commands. Oh wow, it seems you've been waiting to boss me around your entire life, Vegeta, haven't you? Frieza says. Vegeta's eye twitches upon hearing this remark and he just stands firm. Just do it, I won't want to destroy you if you're not full strength, he explains. Frieza shouts and enters his final form, a state that none of these warriors have even seen before. The form that Goku saw before he killed him was only his second form. Haven't seen this before, have you? He asks, before charging toward Vegeta. He throws a powerful punch, one of the strongest that he can throw, but Vegeta catches his fist and swerves it out the way before kicking him right in his stomach. His kick drops him to his knees, causing him to slide forward slowly. He soon hyperventilates upon feeling this strike and drops his head onto the ground. The pain is almost unbearable and Vegeta looks like he could do that in his sleep. I'm very unimpressed if that's your full power, Frieza. Oh well, Vegeta says, creating a ki blast in his palm. Don't be an arrogant fool, Vegeta, Frieza shouts, slowly rising to his feet. Did you think I came back to be slaughtered again? Did you really think I would return without a game plan? He asks. He lets off a maniacal smile before crouching into a powering up position. Let me show you a new power of mine, he declares, before shouting and powering up. He shows off his new power of Golden Frieza and the group look quite surprised upon feeling how strong he is now. He's stronger than me, what a fighter, Yamoshi says with eyes widened. Yamoshi has amazing ki control, so he can pretty much tell exactly how strong someone is when they're using ordinary ki. Of course, when he's sensing God ki, the ability to gauge someone's power isn't as accurate. Goku and Raditz on the other hand are totally calm. Vegeta steps back and readies himself. He's not arrogant enough to try and fight Frieza in his base form when he's this strong now. In reaction though, he transforms into his Super Saiyan God form and makes his battle stance. Frieza shouts and dashes right toward him, throwing a sequence of powerful, fierce blows. Vegeta blocks or evades them and can soon see how this fight will end up. In Super Saiyan God, fighting this warrior is an absolute breeze. He taps away every attack coming his way and stops the Golden Warrior with 2 powerful punches to his stomach. Upon taking this attack, he coughs out blood, then shouts and tries to attack him after being hurt so badly only to totally miss Vegeta. The Saiyan Prince watches his fist soar right past his face, then he punches him right in the face to drop him to the ground. He holds his bleeding face, then slowly looks up to the prince that towers over him. How? You were a weakling, Frieza asks, before coughing even more. I was, but now I'm something else. I have surpassed even the gods, he declares, holding his hand to his face. Wait, Vegeta, I can give you anything that you desire. I can even give you a leading role in my empire. You would be my right-hand man, he says, practically pleading for his life. I don't care about your empire. Do you want me to willingly be part of an empire that orchestrated the suffering and tyranny over my people that are now dead because of you? Frieza can't even say anything in response to that and is shocked to see a ki blast already soaring to his face before he even has time to enact his plan B of destroying the planet. The Emperor is blown to smithereens and he is gone for good this time. Now what follows these events is the Tournament of Destroyers. The group want to prepare themselves for this upcoming tournament and Yamoshi cannot wait to see those from other than his own universe. What he is hoping for though is to see if there are any Universe 6 Saiyans. The Saiyans want to make sure that they're strong enough to be valid fighters in this tournament and they don't know how strong their competitors are going to be. Therefore they want to enter the hyperbolic time chamber for a total of 3 years each. Goku decides to spend his last year on his own and does this because of this special quest that he receives. New quest Intermediate Ascendant Program. Complete the intermediate level Ascendant Saiyan program every day for 365 days. Rewards new title. Goku is happy to see what this quest is going to give him as a reward for completing it and he hastily enters the hyperbolic time chamber to begin. He is met by the angelic being that resembles Yamoshi and ends up sparring the being just like he did with Yamoshi. However, he can tell that this person is way stronger than the real Yamoshi. It's like a totally different level of power above even Beerus and he thinks even Whis too. In this training period something special happens though. He unlocks the form of Ultra Instinct Saiyan and can fight back against the simulated warrior much better. The power boost from this state sends him far above his friends that he has already beat in terms of power. Transformation acquired, Transformation, Ultra Instinct Sign. The Saiyan body has adapted to the technique of Ultra Instinct by creating a transformation capable of providing the user with a significant portion of Ultra Instinct. The body can nearly perfectly attack and defend in this state. What is surprising about this transformation is that when he uses the form, this is what his stats look like. User Kakarot brackets Goku, titles One Man Army, Royals Bane. Key control 12, intelligence 9, reflexes 11++, durability 16, adaptability 8, perception 10. With this form his reflexes are heavily boosted so he wonders what will happen when his base reflexes stat increases. Goku has insanely high levels of durability so he can take attacks from those that are significantly stronger than himself. He has his champion Gi to thank for that. After this extremely long training session, Goku has now far surpassed the likes of Beerus. Now he's creeping up on Whis when it comes to power. I don't think he's just there yet or relative to Whis, but I think he's making some serious progress. Following this period of training, Goku's Gi has almost fallen apart completely and he feels that it no longer heals him or gives him a power boost, its abilities have faded. Quest complete, new title, System Owner. The user has surpassed the creator of the system and can now take over the moniker of having ownership over it. +1 all stats, +1 item Zenkai Amplifier. This seed when consumed can permanently increase the potency of the Saiyan Zenkai by a substantial amount. +1 item Ascendant Gi. An advanced form of Gi derived from the champion Gi, it applies a 5x boost to the user's battle power. It also slowly heals the body from injuries. Additionally, it applies a 10x boost to the durability stat of the user. +1 technique Wound Transfer. When wearing the Ascendant Gi, this technique allows for injuries from the user to be transferred to the person that inflicted such damage. If no person can be identified as the cause of an injury, it simply vanishes, can only be used twice per day. That sounds cool, Goku thinks upon reading up on the final technique he is given. A new white Gi is laid over his body and he can feel the immediate boost to his power. Emerging from the time chamber, the others can't tell how strong he has gotten, but he has grown an enormous amount. With his new white Gi, they stand no chance against him now. For the tournament, Yamoshi is the one that begins the fight. For the initial fighters, he makes quick work of them. Yamoshi can defeat Botomo, Frost, or Tamageta and is very interested in the fight that he's going to have with Kaba. Yamoshi is very happy to see a fellow Saiyan and doesn't want to end the fight quickly. Do you still reside on Tadala, he asks, catching a punch from him. Kaba just lifts one of his eyebrows before replying. Yes, I am from Tadala, Kaba replies, confused about why he is acting so friendly even though they are in the middle of fighting each other. Kaba then tries to attack him again and he blocks the initial punch that lands on his forearm. The two continue fighting and Yamoshi can see that this warrior is way stronger than the Saiyans of his universe. Maybe it's that he has no tail, who knows, he tells himself, dipping under a kick aimed for his face. Following this, he just stops fighting and Kaba is quite confused. Do your people have the capacity to use the Super Saiyan transformation, he asks. Kaba just looks totally confused by his statement. I guess not. If you are a Saiyan like us, then you should possess a latent power deep within you. And it takes a deep emotion to get it out, he says, before entering his own basic Super Saiyan state. Yamoshi speeds off to Kaba and steps to the side. He whizzes around him using his immense speed that he uses to throw him off and bewilder him. Kaba tries to hit him, but he just ends up touching air each time. His punches seem to phase through the trail of golden energy until he is swept right off his feet with a kick at his legs. Yamoshi then grabs his neck and slams him into the ground. Do you want to win? Where is your ferocity, Saiyan? You are one of us, so I know it's in there. Where is your need? He asks, while Kaba can barely breathe. The young Saiyan then looks to the god of his universe, Champa. He can see his gaze of dissatisfaction and looks back to the Saiyan towering over him with his pure blue eyes. He ends up feeling a tingling sensation in his back, then he completes his transformation. He transforms into a Super Saiyan form from his need for power and punches Yamoshi straight in his jaw. He smiles after taking that attack and is pleased with Kaba's progress after just minutes after fighting. He lets Kaba get out his pent-up anger from the power of this state. He has a strong desire to take down Yamoshi and the ancient Saiyan decides to let him get the final win. Once he takes a punch to his chest, he just throws himself out the ring and Kaba is deemed the winner. Yamoshi claps for the Saiyan alongside many of the participants of Universe 6 when he is out the ring, showing great sportsmanship to the other universe. This is what the other Saiyans have mainly noticed about him too. He seems to be a very righteous person and acts upon strong fortified principles. Goku is the main Saiyan that wants to step up. The others are reluctant to let him fight because they feel like if he gets a go, they win. Yamoshi has wiped the floor with most of the fighters that he's come up against. How could they have a chance to fight with the much stronger Goku being added to the mix? However, Goku says he has a few new techniques he must test out. That's him just wanting to try the new Ascendant Gi technique against somebody. Goku is up against Hit, the final fighter of their twin universe. He charges at the assassin and is surprised to see him vanish from view completely. Goku has suppressed himself significantly and this allows his body to get injured from the attack he knows is coming. Goku gets kicked in the side of his body and the kick gives him a minor bruise. He isn't very impressed with the injury that he's received and is surprised that it's minor since he has made himself much weaker. He made sure to do so because he knows how strong he is now. However, he mentally activates the skill and feels a light movement of energies across his pure white gi. Hit stumbles to the side slightly and is surprised to feel that pain is coming from the side of his body. He looks a little surprised and even looks down to his abdomen to check on what's happening. As he does so, this pretty much loses him the fight. Goku dashes forward with his suppressions totally lifted. Landing a punch to his chest, he coughs out a mix of spit and blood, gravely injured. In a last-ditch effort to save himself, he uses the time skip to throw himself to the other side of the ring. Goku is able to watch him as he moves and he initially thought that he had some form of teleportation technique. However, he's quite clearly just slowed time somehow to move more quickly. I wonder what that ability is, Goku says curiously, before Hit falls to the ground crippled. He struggles to even control his breathing and the match is called off as Hit is seen as no longer fit to continue. Vados attends to him quickly because they can see that the injury he has is life-threatening. Just a little wave of her wand gets rid of such injury and the tournament is over. Universe 7 lost a single fighter practically out of choice and they have come out victorious in a spectacular fashion. Once the group return to their training, something weird happens. In Capsule Corps, Bulma finds a random person nearly dead resting in one of the gardens of her complex. Upon walking closer, she finds that this person looks identical to Gohan. However, he looks a bit older and is far more muscular and has a scar down his face. Gohan, no, that can't be right. Isn't he working in some job on Earth? He hasn't trained in years, Bulma thinks, alerting the Saiyans. Whis ends up transporting the Saiyans here on the 35-minute journey from Beerus planet to Earth upon hearing of the commotion. Goku never went to planet Yardrat to learn instant transmission, so he doesn't have that ability to instantaneously transport them there. The three warriors arrive at the gazebo that Bulma has kept the warrior in and he looks seriously beat up. They can all tell that this is Goku's son, Gohan. As soon as he wakes up from their arrival, he springs out of bed and goes straight for Goku. Big Bang attack, he shouts, alerting the group while also making Vegeta raise an eyebrow in confusion. Stop, what's wrong? Goku asks, trying his best to placate the angered warrior. The anger in his face washes away and he calms down. Sorry, I'm so sorry, I made it, he says weakly, falling back onto the bed. He explains to them what's happened and that there is a future timeline that has been destroyed by a man that looks exactly like Goku. He calls him Goku Black due to the black gi that he dons. This is a future timeline that wasn't created back in the Cell Saga, it was instead created around this time as Zamasu goes on to get his wish with the Super Dragon Balls. How have you survived so long? Raditz asks. He knows how strong Goku is, and to be frank, if he was to ever go against them, they wouldn't have a chance of beating him. Their only hope would be Whis, who is forced to be neutral and cannot go out of his way to protect mortals. It's Vegeta, I neglected training, but he trained me from the ground up. We even entered the hyperbolic time chamber a few times too, he explains. Vegeta, Raditz blurts out, looking back to the other Saiyans. Vegeta looks slightly embarrassed and just scoffs. I need to go and face this guy. I know how I can take myself down, Goku claims. He wants to give hope to his friends and this future being, but he certainly does not know how he'd do that. If this future opponent of his happens to have his body and his system, how could he actually fight him? When he uses the Ascendant Gi's wound transfer technique, this Goku Black could just pull the same trick and just reverse it on him. However, from what he's saying, he's wearing a black gi, so he might not actually have the same Ascendant Gi that he possesses. Goku takes some time to muse over the matter, and he tries his best to try and find a way to beat his opponent. He just assumes that Goku Black is wearing a modified version of the Ascendant Gi. He wants to prepare for the worst. Just because he's in this body doesn't mean he possesses the abilities of his system. Even if he does, how would he know that he does? Goku must mentally call out the system that he already knows that he possesses. However, if any system panel was to appear when Goku Black is in his body, he will know that the system is there. They then head to the future timeline and they can see that the Earth is now in ruins. After Goku Black killed the Supreme Kais, the gods of Universe 7 that have their lives linked are now gone too. That includes Beerus. He steps out into the universe and Gohan hastily calms himself to try and sense for Vegeta's signature. However, they don't find a thing. Gohan, a voice whispers from beside them. Future Vegeta arrives from around the corner. Gohan looks great to see him here, and he has surpassed his power so that Goku Black can't sense him. Goku clocks onto this immediately and looks up to the skies as he senses the being's power. That's right, he won't have my ki control. Will he even be able to use some of my skills, he wonders. He'd acquired certain techniques after training his ki control in several Saiyan programs, so if this being hasn't gone through the same arduous and strenuous training in his body, how could he use those same techniques? Greetings Saiyans, it's a pleasure that you are here to help us, future Vegeta states. Vegeta feels annoyed by his future counterpart's mentality, and this future warrior finds his reaction quite amusing. This future Vegeta has spent years training to try and survive and protect those around him. He has had no time for selfishness or ego. Over time, after training up Gohan and trying to navigate the treacherous world of the future timeline, those qualities of overconfidence and callousness slowly but inevitably faded away. Raditz just looks to this future Vegeta, then looks back to Vegeta and looks back at the future warrior. He just chuckles lightly before the two groups of warriors continue their conversation. All of these warriors can suppress their strength, but the arrival of future Gohan in his time machine means that they are encountered by the likes of Goku Black in no time. Future Vegeta and future Gohan freeze up and look totally furious upon seeing him. Almost in reflex, they enter their Super Saiyan God forms, and as they do so, they can feel their bodies healing itself from the injuries that they have. However, this is only up to a point. If they don't have enough energy to run the healing process, then it can't just work magic. Hello there Saiyans, I see that you have brought reinforcements. A past version of Vegeta and Goku, the reason that I have managed to come so far toward completing my goal, Goku Black says, raising his arms. What's your goal? Goku asks, out of the blue. To eradicate the world of all mortals, he bluntly states, surprising the Saiyans that have heard this for the first time. Goku can't even stop himself and lifts into flight, ready to face him. I see that you're ready to fight already, let's begin. Before Goku Black can finish his sentence, Goku swings out his Sadala slash right at him. Goku Black however follows up with the same technique. His slash is far less powerful and gets absorbed into Goku's. Upon seeing this happen, Goku Black extends his arm and just lets the slash cut off his arm completely. He grunts in pain and the others look very confused upon watching this happen. However, future Vegeta and future Gohan know exactly what is about to come next. He uses the wound transfer so that it's applied onto Goku and he loses his arm in the process. The future warriors watch this happen and actually look quite confused. How did he manage to do that? Father really is strong, Gohan says. What did he do that was so surprising, Raditz asks. We've never even got him to draw blood, it's like he's got metal skin or something, Gohan says. This observation falls in line with the fact that Goku Black is wearing a special gi that he has managed to paint black himself. It just drops off, but Goku then applies the same skill and his arm almost latches back onto his body. Goku Black's arm drops off and he isn't willing to lose the other injury swap that he must use this day, however his arm is gone and spewing blood wildly. Goku Black looks at this injury and is annoyed that if he wants his arm back he's going to have to waste his final arm swap. The only other viable option for him would be to wait for the Ascendant Gi to slowly heal his arm again. The Gi's abilities at healing without this technique are greatly diminished, as the wound kind of just stumps over after a few seconds. The fight continues and the two beings clash. Goku takes the first punch from his evil counterpart and just forces his head against the knuckles in his cheek. Goku Black can't seem to move his fist any further, and Goku capitalizes on his lost arm to hit him in the places that he struggles to block. He throws a flurry of punches, then Goku Black uses practically the only chance that he is given to hit the fighter back himself. This punch of his isn't any ordinary punch though, and it's the delayed strike skill. It lands on the original Goku's gi, but the attack doesn't really hurt him that badly. As for the delayed strike, it also does pretty much nothing to him. How come he's so weak, Goku wonders, watching this fighter. He has some of his system's abilities, but from what he can see, he doesn't have all of them. Even if he does have access to all of them, how would he know how to perform all the techniques? His system doesn't have a skills page, he has to mentally remember all the techniques that he knows. Goku wants to have a great fight here. He can feel his Saiyan instincts kicking in, but he also wants to end this as quickly as possible. This world has been reduced to a somber world of suffering and darkness. He cannot let a person that has caused such darkness to continue to live. The Saiyan enters his god form and then enters the realm with the Saiyan kings. "It's you again, it's been a while, what's the issue now?" a king asks, much more politely. These people seem to have warmed up to him a lot more, and Goku can actually have meaningful conversations with them without having each sentence having a double meaning behind it. "I'm fighting an evil version of myself. He has the system and my abilities, and I need to find a way to beat him." This makes the Saiyan king that heard this laugh. "Good luck with that. I guess we ought to give you a good bunch if you want to have a chance at beating yourself," he says, extending his arm. Goku returns to the real world and gets imbued with the power of their ki. The nature of the hybrid ki that is formed is chaotic, but when he is just in his Super Saiyan God form, his body can contain it. It makes him look a little more vascular, but that's about it. He still has the same slim, sleek physique that he had beforehand. Goku shoots himself at Goku Black and begins using his after image skill. Goku wants to make sure that he ends this guy quickly, and he has basically checkmated him with this. If he tries to use his wound transfer, Goku can reverse it, and with both of their transfers done for the day, he'd have to deal with the injuries. Just from this strategy, the fight has swayed heavily in Goku's favour. Several clones of Goku assail the Pseudo Saiyan, and after the delay he receives a sequence of insanely powerful blows. He ends up coughing blood, and then one of the clones uses the Sadala Slash. This slash cuts off his other arm, and the remaining clones shoot a barrage of death beams from the several different directions. Since they are going in several different directions, there isn't actually much that he can do to evade all of them. Therefore, he is caught by a few. They shoot right through his body, then Goku's clones disappear once the skill has finished. Goku then opens his palm and reveals a ball of glowing white energy. Within the white energy though appears a wave of flowing colours of ki. The ball starts spinning around violently and Goku shoots it right at the being. The blast hits Goku Black right in his stomach and explodes violently. The light released is so bright that they can't even see what's happened. The only one that can keep their eyes open through this dazzling explosion is Goku. He looks attentively at the source of the light but can see that the warrior's body is still intact. It's quite strange and he's struggling to figure out what's going on. He's hit Goku Black numerous times in Super Saiyan God, and Goku Black is still in his base form and can't actually utilise the full power of his own body. The light dies down and the warriors can't locate Goku Black. However, after a brief time of trying to sense his ki, they are horrified to see that it's still intact. They can see that it's fallen quite significantly, but Goku is just confused upon realising this. How could he still be alive after an attack so powerful like that? Goku lands and stands ahead of the unmoving body of Goku Black. He is stunned for a time and can't understand how this being could still be alive. Suddenly, Goku Black springs back to his feet and the ground breaks under the explosion of his aura. The Saiyan has completely lost sanity, but as he is stood there, something appears in his field of view. System life-saving procedure activated. So that will conclude the 5th part of What If Goku Had a System. Please tell me something you liked about this video or something that I should improve on for the next one. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.